Now in the sixth part, we want to extend a standard business object. Till now, we created our own business object bonus plan. We used the sales orders and the employee business object in our coding, but we never extended the standard business object. Often customers want to extend the standard instead of creating complete new applications. So now we're going to talk about how we can extend the standard from Business by Design. So we want to add a new field to the standard employee. So one should be fixed bonus, which is an indicator where we can say one employee gets a fixed bonus, yes or not. And in addition, we want to add a field fixed bonus amount to the employee, because then we can directly enter an amount that an employee gets when he gets a fixed bonus. So we will use this field to determine which kind of bonus the employee gets, if he gets a fixed bonus or if he gets a bonus that is calculated based on the sales orders in the system. So let's start now with the development. Okay, back in the develop environment, we see our business object, our scripts, and our UIs. So now we want to add a business object extension. So for that, we do a right click on our project and add a new item. In the new item dialog, we can see the extensions here. And there we can select several extensions. What we want to do, we want to extend an existing business object. So we want to extend the employee object. So we just give a fitting name here and say add. Then we have to select the namespace. As you learned now from the programming, we know that the employee is in the namespace Business Partner Global here. And there we can see now all the business objects that exist in this namespace. And we want to select the employee object. So now we create an extension object for the employee. After that, a business object definition is opened up, same as we know it from our custom business objects up here. So let's take a look. It looks a little bit different because there we have an extension in front of the business object and we have already two nodes generated. So this is the structure that is given in the extension and we cannot change the structure. We can only add elements in those given elements here. So we now want to add two elements to the common element here. So in the common node, we add a new element that we name fixed bonus. And this element should have the type true or false, so it should have the data type indicator. We want to add another element which says fixed bonus amount. So there we can save the actual amount of the fixed bonus. Okay, so now the standard business object is extended by those two values. We also want to add a label so that we can later on translate this label and we can give a better label than just the name here. So we add a label, fixed bonus, and close the brackets here. And we do the same for the fixed bonus amount. Okay, after saving this, we have to activate the standard BO here. And then we have to enhance the screen. We have to enhance the screen of the standard in order to be able to fill those fields via the standard employee screen. Okay, now it's activated and then we can do a right click on the XBO here. There we have different options than in a normal business object. So we can enhance existing screens, we can enhance forms. For sales orders, this would be, for example, a sales order form. We can enhance the reports for the analytics part, and we can add our fields, the fixed bonus and the fixed amount, to the enterprise search in the system. But now all we want to do is enhance the existing screen and put our fields on a standard screen. After we click the enhance screen, a new screen opens up where we can select the screens where we want to enhance those fields. So we get a very large selection of screens here because we see every screen that has attributes of the employee business object in it. So now we need to select the right screen. We want to select the employee QA, where we can then enter those values for a certain employee. So here we find the employee QAF, which is the edit form for an employee. After we selected the screen, it is generated here in our environment and the UI designer is opened. So you already know the UI designer, so this is very common to you. But now we cannot change to the edit mode. By editing screens, we are limited to extensibility options that are given in a certain window. We can open with View the Extensibility Explorer here at the right hand side. So now you can see we can select elements, and depending on what I select, the operations here on the right hand side change. So here I cannot do any operations, but when I select the section group here, or this section group, I have the possibility of adding extension fields to the section group. So now I can choose a section group where I want to add extension fields. Let's add the extension fields here to the employee area. So we select Add Extension Field to Group. And there we see our two elements that we created in the business object extension. We see the labels, we could also define a tooltip, we see the type, and we can select them. After selecting those, they will be added to the standard screen. We could specify that they are display only, but in this case we want to enter some values here. So we click now Apply in order to add those elements to our screen. After clicking Apply, we get the message that a change transaction is created. You create change transactions in order to revert changes later on, because we do now changes to a standard UI. So we say OK, and now we have to save and activate the screen. After that, the fields will appear in this standard screen here. Okay, so you see now here is a fixed bonus amount and fixed bonus. If I would log on now to the standard business by design system and choose the right work center where I can change the employee attributes, there I could now also enter a fixed bonus amount and a fixed bonus. But first, let's alter our coding in order to work on those values. So I close now the UI designer and go back to our coding. So we want to enhance our calculate bonus action now. So what we want to do, we only want to use the sales orders if the employee is not getting a fixed bonus. So here we can now say if and now we can use our employee association that we defined before. And this employee association has done under the current common node our extension fields. So here you see the fixed amount and fixed bonus. So we say if fixed bonus is true, then he gets a fixed bonus. And if it's not true, he is getting our sales-based bonus. So let's take all this coding here and bring it a little bit more into the middle and close a bracket down here. So now you see our coding is working. And what we do now is we check the value of fixed bonus, which has a value true or false. And if it's true, he gets a fixed bonus. If it's false, he will get the sales order bonus. So what we now have to specify here, we have to also say that this employee here, that this total bonus equals this to employee current common, and we take the fixed amount here. So now you can go to the standard UI of the employee, check the checkbox of the fixed bonus and enter a fixed amount. And then the employee will get this fixed bonus instead of the sales order based bonus. Okay, so this is now how we enhance the UI and the business object of the employee and used it in our calculation here. So now let's test it via the preview. But first we have to activate again our calculate bonus because we made some changing in the coding. Now after the activation finished, let's go first to the standard employee view in order to extend the employee with the attributes we need. So I already opened up the maintain employee window from the standard screen, where we can now maintain the fixed bonus amount and the fixed bonus which we added to this standard screen. So I enter here a fixed bonus, 10,042, and I check the box fixed bonus. So let's save the employee and then go back to our UI in order to test it. After maintaining the attributes of Kate Jacob, we now should have a different calculation for her than for all the others. Because we maintained the attribute fixed bonus to true and we maintained her fixed amount to 10,042, we should see now this bonus when we do a calculation for her. So let's test that in our QA. So we create a new bonus plan and select Kate Jacob as our employee. We still enter a valid date and a bonus rate and a target amount. So what we're now going to do, we hit the calculate bonus button, and in that moment we should get a fixed bonus here instead of a calculated bonus. And we see she doesn't have any total revenue because we don't calculate it here, and she has a total bonus of 10,042, which is a fixed bonus here. Okay, now in contrast to that, let's test it with a different user. So for example, let's take Victoria Brennan. She still gets a bonus calculated on her sales orders. So let's do the same test and calculate the bonus again. Okay, and here we see, because she has no fixed bonus maintained in her employee attributes, she gets a total revenue of 200,000 and she has a total bonus of 25,000. So we see our extension to our standard employee attribute works. Now we can maintain our employee attributes in the standard, and this will affect our bonus plan calculation here. Now you saw how we can extend the standard business objects with new elements and how we can add those elements to existing screens in order to use those elements to maintain the standard attributes and then to use those in our business logic to determine a different bonus here.